Tonight, the road to WrestleMania began with the biggest event of the year, the first event of 2016, the Royal Rumble match and Royal Rumble event. Because of the fact that tonight it was one versus all, one man, Roman Reigns, puts his WWE World Heavyweight title on the line against 29 other competitors in the Royal Rumble match. The winner not only main events WrestleMania, but will become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. On top of that, almost every title was on the line tonight in the 29th annual Royal Rumble event. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Fletcher, alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, and we welcome you to the recap of the Royal Rumble event. It went down tonight live on the WWE Network from the Amway Arena in Orlando, Florida. What a night it was. We're just going to dive right in. There's no need to waste any time. The first fight of the night was the last man standing for the WWE Intercontinental Heavyweight title. The reigning champion was Dean Ambrose. He put the title on the line against Kevin Owens, the winner of the bout, and still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, Anthony Florios, or I should say ridiculously over Anthony Florio. You lead off on this match.
Yes, indeed, Michael Fletcher. Hello, friends. Ridiculously over Anthony Florio here with you for the Royal Rumble recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. We're so glad to have you with us, and we're delighted to be here as always. And I had a rumbling, I had a feeling, I had a gut feeling that this was going to be the first fight of the night. I'm not at all surprised by this. My thoughts on it: second best fight of the night, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This is exactly how you start off a Royal Rumble match, or a Royal Rumble event rather, when you have two guys with incredible bodies of work like Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens do. We all know how outstanding their bodies of work are. I said last night on the preview show that this could go down as possibly one of the greatest, if not the greatest, last man standing match in the history of the Royal Rumble. I think we got that here tonight. I mean, you can make the argument for Triple H and Shawn Michaels in 2004 when they had that for the World Heavyweight Championship. You can make an argument for John Cena and Umaga in 2007 for the WWE Championship. Those were the two greatest. The Rio and Big Show in 2013, that was a very good match too, but to be honest, the other two matches were better. In my honest opinion, what we saw tonight in 20 minutes and 35 seconds worth of action, I can honestly say out of the four last man standing matches in Royal Rumble history, I think far and away we witnessed the best one here tonight. Greatest last man standing match in the history of last man standing matches at the Royal Rumble. Hands down. I mean, it was exactly what we thought it would be. Physical, smash mouth, be a man fight. We saw it. They did everything we expected and more. We got some of the sickest bumps we ever saw, including the final bump at the end when Dean Ambrose shoved Kevin Owens off the top rope and Owens went crashing through those double tables that was set up outside the ring. I mean, I could go on and on about all the sick bumps, but I'm sure you guys will cover that. But at the end of the day, 4.25 to 4.5 stars. I can only give this the second best fight of the night. I thought only one match was better. I think you boys know where I'm going with it. So, because that match that I have as the better match was definitely much better than the previous two installments of that match. The last two installments of the match left a bad taste in our mouth. There's somewhat of a bad taste in our mouth with the result of the match, but when it comes to the overall body of work, well, it was much better than the last 2 years combined. That's all I'm going to give you as far as what I have for that match later. But for right now, 4.25 to 4.5 stars, second best fight of the night. Great way to start off the event. Crowd was white hot. They were into it. all three of us were into it, obviously, from our undisclosed locations. So there's really nothing left for me to say here except who's next for Owens? I mean, who's next for Ambrose? I don't know. $1 million question. We'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, there's nothing left for me to say except Phenom, Michael Bullock. You know the question I'm going to ask you. It's a question I always ask you. How do you follow that?
I don't know how you can follow that, but first off, hello friends. This is the Phenom Mike Bullock here for our Royal Rumble recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. Yeah, I'll give this about 4.25 to 4.5 stars as well, and this was definitely an awesome way to kick off the Royal Rumble. I mean, you could have asked for a better start than this match right here. I mean, it was smash mouth, it was physical. You saw a lot of sick bumps. I mean, with Kevin Owens basically with that move that he does from the top rope, putting Ambrose through a table, Ambrose shoving Kevin Owens off, having him go through 2 tables. There were chairs that were being used in this match. I mean, it was awesome. Now this is definitely what a Be a Man fight looks like here, and yeah, so definitely a great way to start off. So like I said, what's next for both men? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as we continue on this road to WrestleMania 32. So 4.25, 4.5, and definitely a top fight of the night contender. So with that being said, Fletcher, I toss it to you.
It was an unbelievable fight. 4.25, 4.5 stars. I totally agree with you guys. This was amazing. What a way to jump off the Royal Rumble event. I don't think none of us even thought how explosive the match was gonna be. But after watching that fight, I was like, good. I actually talked to somebody who's very close to me, and I told him good luck trying to have any other fight try to top this. I mean, this was absolutely amazing. Definitely, without a doubt, one of the top fights of the night. And I do agree for the most part, if it wasn't for that last match of the evening, I think this easily could have been, at least in my eyes, the fight of the night. But, I mean, it was definitely a thrilling way to start the Royal Rumble event, I think we can say. So with that said, we're just going to dive right into the next fight of the night, which was in this all titles Royal Rumble event for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The New Day puts the titles on the line against the Uso brothers, the winners of the bout, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day, as Big E gets the big ending on Jey Uso for the 1, 2, 3. Michael Bullock, you lead off, my friend. What did you think about this match?
I thought it was a fine tag team title match for what it was. I'll give it about 2.5 stars as my rating for the match. I mean, I thought it was fine for what it was, but yeah, before the match, I mean, they gave like a moment of silence for that fallen trombone, Francesca, but and just when you thought we were rid of that stupid thing, out comes Xavier Woods with a new trombone, Francesca the second. I'm like, ugh. And that was the one thing that really, as a matter of fact, I'll probably say 2.25 to 2.5 stars. I mean, the action was good. I mean, I just didn't like the whole chicanery or New Day shenanigans, especially with that new trombone now that that Xavier Woods has. I mean, but the action I thought was good for what it was. And I did have the feeling that the New Day was going to retain their tag team titles, and yep, that's what happens right here. So yeah, 2.25 to 2.5 stars is my rating on the match. So Fletch, I give it to you.
Michael Bullock, I disagree. You underscored this mightily. I'm going to give this about 3 stars. I thought this was a very good match. You got almost 10 minutes, well over 10 and a half minutes of action in the fight. Yes, I understand you guys are one of those that actually does kind of pile drive about the trombone thing and the whole 9 yards, but I don't mind. I didn't mind it at all. The crowd was really into it, and they're way over. The New Day is more over than the Usos. I mean, WWE. I think the IW is telling you something. I think it's time that you turn the New Day faces and turn the Usos heels, to say the very least. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I say 3 stars. I'm sorry, I disagree with Michael Bullock and his rating, to say the very least. Anthony Florio, what says you?
What says me? The age-old question: who do I agree with? Do I agree with the phenom Michael Bullock, or do I agree with the cerebral viper Michael Fletcher? Cerebral viper, I agree with you, man. I got to go with Fletch on this one. Bullock, I think you did underscore this just a little bit. I'm going to give it the solid 3 stars as well. I thought this was a very good tag team match, a solid match. I mean, I was thinking 2.5 to 3 on my progressive rating going into this, and yeah, it turned out exactly like I thought it would. Now, who's next as far as next possible challengers for the New Day? I don't know. Maybe we could get a rematch down the road. I don't know. We'll see. But history was also made here tonight, my friends. I don't know if those of you, if any of you out there may have noticed, but tonight also marked another return of one of our favorite sites here at the Wrestling Forum. I'm sure you guys may.
Oh, yes. I think I know where you're going with it. Yes, I did hear about it. Well, Derek Ferreira, our Imperial Grand Poobah, confirmed it. The return of Mimi Jean Okerlund.
Which is now known as mimigene.org, but still,
Yep,
I mean,
it is.
you're absolutely right. And I created, and I'm back in the game. I created not one, but two funny memes in regard to the trombone and everything else. And they both come courtesy of perhaps our favorite of all time, the infamous Hard Times Dusty Rhodes meme. And here we go.
Oh, no!
Here we go, boys.
It's
Brace
back.
yourself. Mimi Jean is back, and back are the memes, folks. And here we go. Here's the first one. Francesca 2? Great. Now we're in for even more hard times than we were with Francesca 1. Oh, if you thought that one was good, this one I just created moments ago. You're going to love this. Daddy, make Francesca 2 stop, Daddy. I mean, how can you not love that?
Oh, my God.
How do you like that, huh? So,
Oh man, I don't know how you follow that,
Oh,
man.
dear Lord. There goes the ratings.
whoa, just you wait, boys. I don't know how many more there will be. We'll see. But for right now, I had to do it. I mean, when I heard the site was back, the only difference is you got to create a username and password and all that good stuff. I already did mine, so look for me. I'm just going to let you know my username is Best for Business. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. So if you see a username of Best for Business, that's me.
Oh, why did you have to use that one, Florio?
Because it had to be within a certain character limit. But I wanted to use something that revolved around the S movement and all that, but they only give you a limit. So
Oh,
I
that
had
sucks.
to follow the limit. So that's the only reason. Trust me, I don't like the name either, but it's the only it was just what popped into my head at the time. So That's all I can say about it. All my other anything that revolved around us and the Yes Movement and all that was over the character limit. That's the only reason. Trust me, I don't like it either. But it is what it is. So, but anywho, like I said, solid matchup here. 3 stars is the rating. I agree with Michael Fletcher wholeheartedly on this. 11 minutes and 5 seconds was the time of the fall. So there's really nothing else to say here except. Fletch, I believe next up is the United States Heavyweight Championship matchup.
Yes, it is, and it is Alberto Del Rio putting the title on the line against Kalisto, the winner of the bout, and new United States Heavyweight Champion Kalisto Michael Bullock. You know what that means? Lucha, 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 lucha. That's right, it's celebration time. Kalisto is now a 2-time United States Heavyweight Champion. Guys, I gotta say this. This is another one of the top fights of the night. I think there was no bad fights in this Royal Rumble event, to say the very least. And at least in my eyes, I gotta give this at least 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. This fight had over 11 minutes, which was unbelievable, and the match was really good. It was really well paced. The fans were really into Orlando, which I was really surprised about. And I think it was a great match. I really love the body of work of Kalisto. You know how much I've been praising Kalisto in the last few months, or well, at least in the last few weeks. I think he's really had probably the best month ever after doing that Salias this Soul off the ladder through another ladder at tables, ladders, and chairs against one of the Usos in that tag team title fight ladder match. And then after that, he won the Slammy for the oh my god moment of the year, which was absolutely amazing. And ever since then, he became a United States Heavyweight Champion once, unfortunately lost the belt literally 24 hours later, on a SmackDown taping, and then we saw it on Thursday because of help from the League of Nations. And now Kalisto once again is wearing the gold, the new United States Heavyweight Champion. Oh my god. I mean, can I say this guy has the best month ever? And on top of that, strap the jetpack on this guy's back, because I think he's going to be rocketing to the moons and the stars now. Without a doubt, he is the future of wrestling, definitely in Mexico. He is a vibrant, young talent. I cannot wait to see this, and I think he's going to be a great flag bearer for Mexican wrestling, especially for WWE, because they've been looking for that kind of guy to be the flag bearer ever since Rey Mysterio kind of left, and I believe Kalisto could be that Rey Mysterio-esque type guy in my eyes. Great moment for me. 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. Another one of the top fights of the night. Anthony, it is yours. We got a new United States Heavyweight Champion. History was indeed made again in Orlando tonight.
Yes, and I get goosebumps every time I hear you throwing that history has been made in whatever city we're in, whether it's Orlando, Florida, or another city for that matter. The late, great Gorilla Monsoon, your childhood idol. Well, then again, he was a childhood idol for all of us, but nonetheless, 11 minutes and 30 seconds, the time of the fall. I'm going to go between 3.25 to 3.5 stars. I definitely agree. I mean, it should be no higher than 3.5. 3.5 is the absolute best I can give it, but it's between 3.25 to 3.5. It's definitely another one of the top fights of the night. I agree with you 100%, Fletch. I mean, fantastic. Another great match between these two. I mean, I told you these two work so well together. I mentioned it on the preview show last night that those two TV matches, on the Raw where Kalisto won, and then the SmackDown when Del Rio won, both of those were 3.5 to 4. It's a little bit of a step down, small, not a whole lot, but 11.5 minutes. I mean, what we got in that 11.5 minutes was a very good match. I mean, great work from both men, and small part of, I mean, I honestly thought Del Rio was going to win, but I can't believe they're actually playing hot potato with the United States Heavyweight Championship. So I'm hoping. I mean, now here's the thing: good match. Live crowd was kind of quiet for most of the match and only got excited when Kalisto had those believable near falls late in the bout. Like I said, I'm not crazy about the hot potato game they are playing with the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. That's what was making the title lose the prestige in the first place before, of course, John Cena brought it back to prominence last year, of course, because of those U.S. Open challenges. I'm hoping they pick a champion and settle down. And I'm hoping that we can see Kalisto bring back the Open Challenge because I think it would be cool to see an underdog, vulnerable champion like Kalisto defend the title regularly in matches that fans would fear he would lose. So that's just how I honestly feel about it. We all want to see that U.S. Open Challenge come back, and I'd love to see Kalisto bring it back. But right now, my only thing is no more hot potato. I ain't talking about the great game show from the 1980s, hosted by the late great Bill Cullen, one of my favorites of all time. I ain't talking about that hot potato. I'm talking about, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, that was one of the reasons why not just the United States Heavyweight Championship, but the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship for a while was losing credibility and prestige. And that's why, we would always crap all over it. And 1 minute, I mean, ever since they, took it off of Cena so he could do his military reality show, Del Rio held it for a good couple of months, and then Kalisto gets that big win, which was awesome, and we were hoping it was going to be for a while, and then they have him drop it back to Del Rio the following night when it comes to the taping-wise, and then now Kalisto wins it back here. So the only thing I have to say, WWE, is just simply this. Make up your minds. Who do you want? Who do you honestly want as the United States Heavyweight Champion? Do you want Kalisto or do you want Alberto Del Rio? And here's the thing. Del Rio's got a... I'm pretty sure that's going to give Del Rio a rematch clause now. Don't be surprised if we get yet another championship match. Maybe tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw in Miami at the American Airlines Arena. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, no more hot potato. That's why that title lost so much credibility and prestige for so long before Cena brought it back to prominence, So that's all I can say. So that's my only gripe, little mini rant over. So 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Another top fight of the night for sure. I agree with you there, Fletch. So Michael Bullock, lucha indeed, my man. Your boy Kalisto regains the United States Heavyweight Championship. So are you sick of the hot potato booking as much as I am, or what?
yeah, I am. I am sick of the hot potato booking. I mean, if you want to have a champion, you need to keep it around for at least a good amount of time. Instead of having him win the title one night and then having him lose it the next night. But you know what? I mean, it is what it is. It happened, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I'm going to say 3.5 stars is my rating for the match. I mean, yeah, I didn't know what to expect out of this match, but because of the Lucha Underground with both of them, I think we knew we were going to get some kind of a really good match here, and they certainly did not disappoint. So, yeah, Kalisto is now the new United States champion. Perhaps we could get a rematch tomorrow night on Raw. We'll have to wait and see on that, but all in all, 3.5 stars. Another one of the top fights of the night. Great job by both men. So, that being said, Fletch, let's move on to our next match.
And it is for the WWE Divas Championship, as the reigning champion Charlotte Flair puts the title on the line against Becky Lynch, the winner of the bout, and still the WWE Divas Champion Charlotte Flair. She does get it with the spear with a little help from Ric Flair. Ric Flair was very instrumental in this fight, to say the very least. But then after the match, let's just say we had a major interruption. The Boss showed up. That's right, Sasha Banks made her way out, and it looked like that she was gonna be a part of Charlotte's crew or whatnot. They kind of looked like they were, two members of the Four Horsewomen, looking like they were gonna be together. No. Backstabber into the bank statement, And basically at the end, it was Sasha Banks holding the WWE Divas Championship, much to the delight and the crowd going absolutely bonkers in Orlando. Gentlemen, I think we got the next #1 contender for the Divas title. So, but before we get there, Michael Bullock, Phenom, my friend, you have to review Charlotte versus Becky. It's all yours, my friend.
Don't I lead off on this?
I was gonna say, doesn't Florio lead off on it?
Actually, no, I stand corrected. Florio does lead off. Bullock, you actually lead off on the Royal Rumble match. My bad. So, Anthony, you lead off.
Yes. Yeah, no, not a problem. I mean, I can't blame you there, Fletch. I mean, exciting night to say the very least. Shakespearean drama was at an all-time high, no doubt about it. But nonetheless, wow. 11 minutes and 45 seconds, the time of the fall, according to my notes here. I got to say, another, I probably would say between 3.25 to 3.5 stars. I mean, this was a fantastic Divas match. I mean, we knew something good was going to come out of this. I mean, can't say I'm surprised about it, but yeah. What else is there for me to say? I mean, just yeah. I mean, we've been mentioning it over the few weeks. I mean, the tide was definitely turning as far as fan reaction was going. The fans, the hardcore fans, and oh, by the way, the IWC found their way to Orlando, Florida tonight. Those fans were solidly behind Becky Lynch, who got over thanks to her very strong mic work in recent weeks, and I do mean strong. Loud boos over the finish and Charlotte's post-match attack. Post-match angle with Sasha was most certainly crowd-pleasing. Not sure why they felt the need to have Sasha take the shot at Lynch. Maybe they're trying to establish that she's out for herself, or they just want to set up a triple threat match. Either way, the fans were definitely behind Sasha Banks once she attacked Charlotte. Hopefully this means Team Bad is finished and Sasha gets a chance to be her own woman. That's what I want. I know it's what Bullock wants, and I know for damn sure it's what Fletcher wants. Because we all know the love affair that Michael Fletcher and his 2184 crew mentor, Bill McConnell, have with this young lady, and rightfully so. I mean, there's no question about it. I'm guessing we could see a one-on-one between Charlotte and Sasha Banks, maybe at Fastlane next month in Cleveland. We'll have to wait and see on that. I'm hoping. I want to see Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky in a triple threat match for the Divas Championship at WrestleMania. You do that at WrestleMania, that has potential to perhaps be the greatest women's match in the history of WrestleMania. That honor, as of now, still belongs, of course. And Fletch, I know you'll agree with me. Trish Stratus and Mickie James, WrestleMania 22, that 3 to 3.5 star match they had in Chicago. Of course, you and I saw that together, and and we definitely had a lot of fun with that fight, believe that. But you put Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte for the Divas Championship in a triple threat at WrestleMania instead of the usual get all the divas on the match card fight. Yeah, that's got potential to be something very special. I'm not holding my breath on that, but we'll have to wait and see. I still think we're going to get a one-on-one with Charlotte and Sasha. I think that's going to come possibly next month at Fastlane, maybe sooner. I don't know. We'll see. But, man, what a Divas fight. I mean, I had a good feeling about this fight. I knew it was going to be a great match. I'm not at all surprised Charlotte retained. I mean, you knew that was going to happen. And how about Ric Flair? And I'm surprised Michael Fletcher didn't get into this because Fletcher got into it on Facebook. Ric Flair showed you why he is not only the limousine riding, not only the jet flying, but we also saw the kiss stealing son of a gun. Woo! And we saw it, man. He did it. He planted one on the last kicker. Yes, he did. Flex, I can't believe you didn't mention that. I thought for sure you would have gone into the detail about that.
No. I was gonna save that for my thought on my end of the review, but I definitely have some very vocal things I want to say about that.
Oh, and I'm sure you'll also have something to say about the outcome too, because I know you were pulling for Becky Lynch just as much as Michael Bullock was pulling for Becky Lynch, and believe me, I know he was. But writing was on the wall. Come on, you knew Charlotte was going to win because of Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game shenanigans. Come on, I ain't no Johnny come lately on the block. I've known about these Flair shenanigans longer. I mean, we all know about the Flair shenanigans, but nobody knows more about the Flair shenanigans than I do, being the biggest Ric Flair mark out of the three of us, even though we're all Ric Flair marks. But I am the biggest one of them all. And I know the story. Trust me, I know the story. So, yeah, but nonetheless, fantastic Divas match. I mean, I can honestly say so far the best Diva fight of 2016. I can honestly say it because there definitely was some Shakespearean drama in the match. Quite a few. It looked like on two or three occasions, it looked like Becky had the belt won. I mean, we thought Becky was going to win the belt with the disarmer, and then, yep, Ric Flair gets involved. I mean, my heart bleeds for Becky, honestly. I mean, don't worry. Don't worry, my friends. Becky Lynch will be a Divas champion someday. And I think the earliest possible day for the last kicker to get her moment in the sun, I think that's going to come on April 3rd in Jerry World, if you know what I mean. So that's just how I feel about it. So another 3.25 to 3.5 star match. Fantastic Divas fight. Diva fight of 2016 so far. So there's nothing left for me to say except Michael Bullock, I know you were pulling for Becky Lynch and all that, but I got a feeling you're going to wax poetic on those Flair shenanigans. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, what was your rating, Florio?
I gave it between 3.25 to 3.5 stars.
I'm gonna meet you in the middle and say 3 to 3.25 stars is my rating for the match. I mean, it definitely was a really good Divas title match, I should say, for what it was. And yeah, I was kind of pulling for Becky Lynch, but you know what? It is what it is. So yeah, I mean, you knew Charlotte was gonna win with those Flair shenanigans. I mean, hey, it runs in the family, so yeah. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. You pretty much touched on it. So I'm gonna say 3 to 3.25 stars is my rating on the match. So Fletch, I give it to you.
Yeah, no, this was an amazing fight. 3.25 stars and one of the best main roster diva fights we've seen in a very long time. I mean, we knew this was going to be special, but then to see how amazing these ladies put it out there tonight, it was absolutely amazing. And credit to Charlotte Flair, credit to Becky Lynch. I mean, this was the best work I've seen from both ladies since they both came when they started the Diva Revolution. And a lot of people were wondering when were we going to see the moment where they were going to shine. And tonight I thought they shined very brightly, to say the very least. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Yes, Ric Flair did get involved, and he kissed Becky Lynch. Becky kind of got a moment there where she was dominating Charlotte. Charlotte rolls out of the ring, and Ric Flair tried to try to play cover, and it backfired. Becky clotheslined Charlotte, so it looks like she definitely was going to get the upper hand. And then what Ric Flair does was grabs Becky Lynch, mwah, gives it a big old smooch right on the lips. Next thing you know, Becky didn't like that. She slaps Flair right in the face, and the next thing you know, Charlotte then gets the upper hand. Looks like she was going to dominate. She did put the disarmer, but if you notice, there was a little bit of a backfire there towards the end of the fight where I think Charlotte collided with Ric Flair, and then she put the disarmer on, and the next thing you know, that's when Flair's jacket basically landed right on her head. She didn't like that one bit. You saw what happened next, the 1, 2, 3, the screwy finish. But look, the fight was amazing. There was nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. Definitely one of the top fights of the night. Again, like I said, there was not one bad fight in this Royal Rumble event, to say the very least. So then Sasha Banks did come out. Yes, Bill McConnell, one of my good friends from the 2184 crew, he actually did mark about it, and he's already calling it. He's like, Mike, you're looking at the next Divas champion of the world. And as a funny side note, his future wife, he thinks. You know what? McConnell, she's yours. I'm gonna talk. I'm actually giving up, and I'm actually standing down on that fact because now my desire and my eyes, yes, they are on the last kicker. I'm pretty much have fallen pretty hard for Becky Lynch. So we'll see what happens. I'm a little upset with the way that the fight went down. I'm kind of a little heartbroken that Becky Lynch did not win tonight, but then again, like you said, we knew it was going to happen. It was expected. So we'll see what happens in the very near future. Hopefully, she'll get another chance at the gold. All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. The main event is the 2016 WWE Royal Rumble match, and it is for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, before we go and before we get into the details about the Rumble, let me just give you a brief synopsis. If this is your first time watching the Royal Rumble, the Rumble starts with two men. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another superstar enters the ring according to their number that they drew at random. In the Royal Rumble, it is every man for himself, no friends, only enemies. Elimination occurs at any time when you get thrown over the top rope and both feet must touch the floor. The one individual that's left in the ring when all 30 have entered, this time around, was not only going to win the Royal Rumble, not only gets to main event WrestleMania, but will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Big, big, big on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2016 WWE Royal Rumble match and now is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Game, Triple H. He wins the Royal Rumble from the number 30 spot. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
Wow. I mean, all I could say is this was a crazy Royal Rumble match, to say the very least. But yeah, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna go somewhere between 4.5 to teetering on 5 stars. I mean, this was a great Rumble match, to say the very least. I mean, basically, of course, we knew Roman Reigns was number one, and then of course Rusev was number two, and then of course who's number three? He's finally arrived. The phenomenal A.J. Styles has arrived in WWE. Great to see him in WWE after all those years in TNA. And then, of course, Tyler Breeze comes in at number 4, Axel at number 5, and Jericho is at 6. And at number 7, it's the Demon Kane. So, yeah, then of course Goldust is at number 8, Ryback is number 9, Kofi Kingston of the New Day is number 10, Titus O'Neil was number 11, R-Truth is number 12, Luke Harper number 13, Stardust is number 14, The Big Show is number 15, Neville is number 16, Braun Strowman number 17, Kevin Owens is at the 18th entrant. Dean Ambrose is number 19. And who comes in at number 20? Sami Zayn. That's right, the former NXT champion goes in, attacks his former friend Kevin Owens, and he eliminates him. That must have felt really good to Kevin Owens. I mean, that must have felt good to Sami Zayn to eliminate him after the hell he put him through. And then, of course, number 21, it is, hold on, Eric Rowan. Number 22 is Mark Henry. Number 23, well, it's the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Jack Swagger is number 24. The Miz is number 25. Alberto Del Rio is number 26. Bray Wyatt's number 27. Dolph Ziggler is number 28. Sheamus is number 29. And then the number 30 entrant, The Game, Triple H. I mean, we saw a lot of things. I mean, from once again the Wyatt family attacking Lesnar and eliminating him. A.J. Styles, I thought he looked really impressive in his WWE debut. Sami Zayn, I mean, the moment he came out, you knew he was going right for Kevin Owens, and they started going at it until Zayn eliminated Owens, and yeah, and there was another guy I was really impressed with in the Rumble match, Braun Strowman. I mean, with some of the eliminations he made, but Triple H being number 30 and winning it, I kind of wasn't that surprised. I mean, I had this feeling inside me that he was going to win it, but yes, so now he's the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I get this feeling we're going to have a rematch. Maybe tomorrow night, or maybe they could save it for WrestleMania. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and find out, but a really good Royal Rumble match. So, that being said, Fletch, your thoughts on this unbelievable Royal Rumble match?
It's far and away better than the last two Royal Rumbles that we had, even though I think the ending was very predictable. And I'll even go out on a limb and said it. I had Triple H winning the Royal Rumble. I had him coming back and winning the whole thing. So this was a no big surprise for me, in my eyes. I heard a lot of rumors that he was coming back, and he did show up. Very interesting about a lot of things in the Royal Rumble. First off, A.J. Styles at number 3. I think that was the biggest shocker of this entire Royal Rumble match, is that he actually was in the – well, we knew he was going to be in the Rumble. I did not think he was going to be this early in the Rumble, but that gave that jolt of energy that the fans wanted, the fans needed, because they knew that the fans were going to be really down on Roman Reigns and on Rusev when they first two started. But to get AJ Styles and give us that AJ versus Roman matchup was a holy cow, man. I mean, I had goosebumps up and down my arms when that was going down. Then, of course, you had your traditional guys out there, and I also got to give it to Chris Jericho, man, because we always talk about who's going to be those two guys that were the Iron Man fight in this Royal Rumble. I think we can clearly say it was AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, because they both hung in there pretty long, pretty far into the Rumble. Some of the other guys that were in it weren't really big names. R-Truth, oh my God. I almost died laughing with what he was doing. I honestly think he was thinking that this was a Money in the Bank ladder match instead of the Royal Rumble. Because if you saw, he came out, he grabbed the ladder, hooked it up, started climbing up, and I don't know if he was looking for a briefcase. I don't know if he was thinking the belt was going to be hung. It was like oh no, R-Truth. Are you kidding me right now? Out of all of the, I mean, what was the one thing I was saying the whole time about this Royal Rumble? I didn't want no campy comedy nonsense because of the fact that it was for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This was not your typical Royal Rumble fight, and they still did it anyway. So, I mean, that was one thing. Then on top of that, you want to talk about stacking the deck even more on Roman Reigns? If you guys remember, and Michael Bullock, I can't believe you never brought this up, but Roman Reigns got jumped by the League of Nations during the Royal Rumble fight. It was, I believe it was after, let me see, where was it at? It was
Orchestrated by
actually,
Mr. McMahon.
yeah, it was literally after Luke Harper entered at number 13, the League of Nations pulled Roman out and absolutely destroyed him. They went through, basically, they destroyed almost all the announce tables. He went through the Spanish announce table with a big splash, and Roman was not seen until practically towards the end of the Royal Rumble. I mean, he didn't come back to like almost near number 29, which oddly enough was Sheamus. When he came out, Roman hit and basically went nuts again. Um, gave him a good little period, a myriad of time. One other thing, the other big takeaway, Brock Lesnar was going through the Wyatts like 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 a hot knife through butter. He was slicing them one by one. He took out Braun Strowman. He took out Luke Harper. He took out Eric Rowan. When Bray showed up, they all ganged up on the Beast Incarnate and eliminated him out of the Royal Rumble match, ruining his dream of main eventing WrestleMania. Boys, I'm calling it right now. The Wyatt family, you just got yourself a first class ticket to Suplex City, bitch. And you guys are about to pay the ultimate price because of the fact you just pissed off a beast incarnate. You just pissed off the former WWE champion, a former UFC champion. It's going to get bowling shoe ugly. You just angered Brock Lesnar, and you thought it was one thing to be pulling and messing with The Undertaker? You got no idea what you just got yourself into when you're now just messed with the beast, Brock Lesnar. Oddly enough, the man that ended the streak at WrestleMania, who knows? He might be the one to be devouring the eaters of the world. Bray Wyatt thought he has the whole world in his hands. Trust me, you're gonna be running in. You're gonna be literally in the world of Brock Lesnar, and let me tell you, that's one scary place to be in. Amazing Royal Rumble match. Triple H gets the ultimate revenge on Roman Reigns, eliminates him before eliminating his buddy Dean Ambrose, and that was also another compelling story. If Ambrose would have won, he would have been not only the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, but the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion at the exact same time. Remember, there's only one man that has ever done that in WWE history, and that was the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, where he had both the WWF title and the Intercontinental title at the same time, even though he relinquished the Intercontinental title. But there's not that many two uh, two champion holders that we've had in WWE. Most recently, we had Seth Rollins, who was the United States and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But let me tell you guys, this is going to be very interesting. I thought this was an amazing Royal Rumble. My rating for it is 4.5 to 4 3/4. I can't give it the 5 stars like you, Michael Bullock. I truly agree with that. But this was far and away better than the last couple of Royal Rumble matches we've seen in years. Even though the ending was predictable, this fight was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it from beginning to end. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Fight of the night. It's very simple. This was the fight of the night. It's 4.5 to 5 stars. No question about it. I agree more with Bullock's rating. I mean, I can honestly make an argument that it was a 5-star classic. I mean, ranks up there as one of the greatest Royal Rumble matches I've ever seen. The last 2 years, with Roman Reigns and Dave Batista, those two left bad taste in our mouth. Well, the result may have left a bad taste in our mouths, but not as bad of a taste as the body of work of the last two Rumble matches combined, but this was far and away the best one since 2013. I mean, this was an amazing Royal Rumble match. 1 hour, 1 minute, 35 seconds, the official time of the fall, according to my notes here. And, yeah, of course, we knew Roman Reigns was going to be number one. A lot of people thought Brock Lesnar was perhaps going to be number two. No, it was Rusev. A little bit of a, I mean, that's somewhat of a, that would have been my second choice, honestly, because we all know Reigns and Rusev were the final two last year, so that doesn't really surprise me there. Kind of like The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, going into 2008. But so that happened. Number three, the phenomenal A.J. Styles. Epic. That was a mark-out moment. I was marking the F out, boys. That's all there is to say about it. I mean, Michael Bullock, you were in for a treat tonight, man, because you got to see firsthand just how great A.J. Styles truly is. He lasted nearly 30 minutes in that Rumble match. He even had a few eliminations as well. So I'll give him all. So he did it far and away better than I thought. I didn't think he was going to get that much of time, but hey, to give him nearly 30 minutes, I mean, that's just wonderful. Phenomenal in that case. I mean, he did a great job in that Rumble match. Styles clashing, I mean, that was awesome. And, yeah, I was throwing it up Fortune 4 style. Derek Ferrera was obviously doing the Bullet Club, obviously, because, and don't forget Bullock, he was not only, like I said, the heart and soul and the mainstay of TNA, but he was also, of course, a major star in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling as part of the Bullet Club. All those 5-star matches he was having with Shinsuke Nakamura and those other great talents down there. But, man, oh man, it was so great to see the phenomenal one. Yeah, I was definitely throwing it up Fortune 4 styles, so epic moment to say the very least. Surprised we didn't get to see that many of Legends, and we hardly had any Legends in this match. I mean, if you consider Goldust a legend, but other than that, I mean, yeah, I kind of wanted to see some more Legends, but that's okay. But at least we got to see AJ Styles. We also got to see and hey, Chris Jericho. I mean, Jericho, the long man, lasting over 50 minutes in the Royal Rumble match. He lasted 50 minutes, and he's 45 years old. Give him credit for that. Still doing things at the high level he's always done it at. So Chris Jericho, my hat's off to you. You may not have won this thing, but still, Chris Jericho deserves a ton of accolades from all of us here. Phenomenal work from Chris Jericho tonight. He was awesome. And, yeah, I mean, Bullock ran down the list of entries, but, yeah, I'm not going to get into that whole R-Truth thing. That was ridiculous, to say the very least, and a colossal waste of time. But yeah, Kofi Kingston. How about Kofi Kingston? Kofi Kingston had another one of those moments. He had another one of those avoid elimination moments that you've seen him do. Like walking on the hands or using JBL's chair or jumping off the barricade. I mean, just amazing. The creative Kofi spot, as they call it. Something that really surprised me in this match. I mean, yes, we saw that domination from the Wyatt family, at that one point, without Bray Wyatt, but I was kind of expecting to see a little bit more. Brock Lesnar did his thing. I mean, he looked amazing coming in at number 23, did a great job, in the match. I mean, he served his purpose. There's no question about it. Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt are on the collision course. I think we're going to see Lesnar and Wyatt one-on-one at WrestleMania. That should be a fantastic match, to say the very least. I got a great feeling about that. That should be a phenomenal matchup there, no doubt. Something must be going on with King Barrett, because we saw 3 of the 4 members of League of Nations. I mean, they got involved. They took out Roman Reigns. It was a lot like when the Corporation took out Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1999, and then we all know how that ended. Stone Cold came back, and then Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble match. That's what we got here again. They take out Roman, and then Roman comes back in. The minute I saw Roman come back in, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Triple H at number 30. The one disappointment I had in this, no Daniel Bryan. I mean, I thought there was a chance we were going to perhaps see Daniel Bryan in the Royal Rumble match, considering that he was just cleared by that UCLA doctor. this past week, but unfortunately, that's not the case. But it is what it is. Kane being in the Rumble match, he didn't last as long as he usually does, and he wasn't as dominant as he once was. But hey, great to see the Big Red Machine in there, and yeah, I mean, yeah, good showings here. And hey, yeah, Triple H winning is predictable. I'll give you that, but honestly, did anybody have Dean Ambrose being the final man in there with him? I certainly didn't. I thought for sure it was going to come down to Triple H and Roman Reigns, but no, it ended up being Triple H and Dean Ambrose. That's great. That was a little bit of some unpredictability there, but this Royal Rumble match had it all, no question about it. 4.5 to 5 stars. This was the fight of the night, no question about it. To me, early candidate for 2016 Match of the Year. So, yeah, the last 2 years were, oh my goodness, those were beyond horrible. Left a really bad taste in all our mouths, because of the IWC crowd, taking over and all that rebellion, like Derek Ferreira said in his video. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say here except, we've waited a couple of years for that really good Royal Rumble match. I told you this was going to be a fantastic Royal Rumble match, didn't I? Didn't I say this was going to be a great Royal Rumble match? I told you all it would be. And I had Triple H all the way. I'm not at all surprised. They went this route. It's obvious it's going to be Triple H and Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania. My guess is Roman gets the title back, gets the three-peat here. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. Give him the moment back from last year when he came up short at 31 because of Rollins. So, early WrestleMania matches, I only have a couple I only have like 3 for right now. My early card for WrestleMania is looking like this: Triple H, Roman Reigns, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt, and a triple threat match for the Divas Championship: Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Book them. Let's wrap it up, Fletch.
All right. Overall review first off about the Royal Rumble event. My goodness, how do you rank this? I mean, I could easily pull the trigger and say at least 9 out of 10. I could even go as far to call this from top to bottom the greatest Royal Rumble event of all time. It's that good. I mean, like I said, there was no bad fights on this card. And for that, I gotta give it at least 9 out of 10. I mean, yes, the ending of the Royal Rumble match was predictable. Yes, it was predictable about how Charlotte won her fight. The crowning of a new United States heavyweight champion was pretty awesome. So seeing Dean Ambrose win the last man standing the way he did was unbelievable. The tag team title fight, yes, I know a lot of guys are going to be dumping on it, but I thought this was a great way to do the match. So there was not one bad fight at all in this Royal Rumble event. If you want the sheer thing of perfection, this could have been it. I think this is practically one of almost a near perfect Royal Rumble. Now, there was a couple of areas where maybe they could have gone a little here or there with it, but overall, this was amazing. And I'm getting a lot of feedback of 8s, 8.5, 9s out of social media. I'm with them. This was a 9 out of 10 Royal Rumble event. Anthony Florio, it's yours. What says you?
I think it deserves a little bit more higher than that, Fletch. I'm going to be honest with you. You said there was no bad match on the card. I agree with you 100%. I could honestly go all the way here, but I'll just say it like this. To me, it's between 9.5 to a perfect 10 out of 10. This was a fantastic Royal Rumble. I definitely agree. Perhaps the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view event of all time in the almost 30-year history of the Royal Rumble event. I mean, I previously thought 2001 was the best Royal Rumble event from top to bottom. I mean, I gave that like 9.25 to 9.5. Of course, you could make the argument for the 2013 Royal Rumble event. a few years back and all that. But to me, it's a 9.5 to a perfect 10 out of 10. No bad fights whatsoever. I mean, the Royal Rumble match, the fight of the night, 4.5 to a 5-star classic. Second best fight of the night, the last man standing, Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose, Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, 4.25 to 4.5 stars on that. I probably would have to say a tie for third best fight of the night between the United States Heavyweight Championship match with Kalisto and Del Rio and the Divas title match with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. I gave those both between 3.25 to 3.5 stars. And which would mean by default, keyword default, worst fight of the night, although it was not remotely bad whatsoever, I have to reluctantly give that to the tag team championship match with the New Day and the Usos. I gave that a solid 3 stars, more like 3 to 3.25 stars. But in terms of star rating, it would be considered by default the worst fight of the night. So that's just how I feel about it, even though it was not remotely bad whatsoever. So with all that said, it will definitely go down as one of the great Royal Rumble events, if not the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view event of all time. I mean, everybody worked their asses off here tonight. That crowd in Orlando, honestly, I wasn't really sure about how the crowd was going to be because, let's face it, we all know Orlando, Florida is not exactly the IWC capital of the world. We all know that's Chicago, Illinois. I mean, you know your IWC cities, Chicago, Brooklyn, Boston, Los Angeles, New York. I mean, but Chicago in particular. But Philadelphia, I'll even throw in Philadelphia, for goodness sakes. But 2 of the last 3 years, 2 cities that I honestly did not expect to see IWC, hijacking, Pittsburgh 2 years ago, and now Orlando, Florida this year. I mean, Orlando, big ups to you folks. The new arena looked amazing, simple as that. The Amway Center, you guys, you brought your A game here tonight. The IWC was in full force. Absolutely awesome. That's all I can say about it. I mean, definitely ranks up there as one of the greatest Royal Rumble events I've ever seen. And next year we will mark the 30th anniversary of the Royal Rumble. Good luck to that, to try to top that. And good luck to all the rest of the pay-per-view events of 2016 to try to top this epic event. That's all I can say about that. Fastlane ain't going to be you. I know that for damn sure. We'll see about Mania. With all the hype going around Mania, considering the venue it's in Jerry World, we'll have to wait and see about that. SummerSlam at the Barclays this year, once again, we'll see. So other events, we'll see. So it's just wait and see for now. So 9.5 to a perfect 10 out of 10. And like I said, good luck to any pay-per-view the rest of the way to try to top this epic event tonight. Phenom, Michael Bullock, how do you follow that? Your overall thoughts on this epic event tonight? Bullock.
Oh, I think we might have some issues with Bullock. All right, so unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up here. This is what we're going to do. Tomorrow night is another edition of the Wrestling Forum. We are going to recap major Monday Night Raw, man. I mean, the fallout from the Royal Rumble event. We're going to find out what went down, what's going to happen now that Triple H is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Does Roman Reigns put the rematch clause in? We'll wait and see what happens. On top of that, of course, something that has become a new staple of our event, we are going to have a special ROH minute by myself. Anthony Florio will have the TNA minute, and he'll talk about what happened in TNA, and actually will preview the next TNA show. And then on top of that, I will actually get a chance to at least give you a little look or a little glimpse of what you might expect on Lucha Underground, because Lucha Underground actually debuts their brand new season this week, this Wednesday on El Rey Network. So I'm going to give you at least my thought of what could happen on Lucha Underground. And then, of course, there was some big news coming out of from RWA. Basically, I'll get into what happened there because of the snow, they pushed one of their shows. So I'll let you know what's going down with the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. That's all tomorrow night on Anthony's channel, the Tone 25, at 11 p.m. Eastern, immediately when Monday Night Raw goes off the air. So, for Ridiculously Over Anthony Floyo, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. You know the routine, hugs and pounds, and good night, everybody. You've been watching the recap of the Royal Rumble right here on YouTube.com. BravesFan95, a part of the Strictly Sports and Wrestling Forum family of networks. Have a good night, everybody.